Okay, thank you for joining today. I am going to do full moon reading that is intended to be timeless so that whenever you find it, it's going to be what you need to hear, hopefully. And I'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to put three piles, and then we'll share those, give you a minute to choose what resonates with you, what you're called to, which may be one pile, two piles, three piles, maybe all of them. So trust your instinct on that, and we'll go ahead and get these shuffled up. Okay, we have piles. So this is pile number one. This is pile number two, and this is pile number. Obviously, they look very similar. So I'm gonna go and place a stone and a trinket on each pile to help you choose, to help your intuition connect to them. Okay, well, this jumped over here. So we have this little ring, a little turquoise. And with that, we're going to put this tiny little turquoise chunk on pile one. Who also has the number? Okay, pile number two. Little fancy piece of pyrite. Oh, and the third stone that I have is a lovely little piece of smoky quartz. Key. And a little rainbow infinity. Okay, so now we are with pile number one. And we'll go ahead and start with this as the center. We have Uranus, which is an agent of change. And Uranus can bring the energy quite shockingly, harshly. People shake things up and put them on their head. So it can seem a bit out of your control. world, but it is actually all meant to be, and to be empowering for you in the end. Now, let's how that's showing up. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead with all right. I'm gonna start with the tarot deck, more of a traditional Rider Waite deck, except this is art Nouveau. So this is one of the ones. Wow. This is the one of swords. And this is the Knight of okay. So we have your main theme coming from pile one is change, energy of Uranus. And then we have three. We have three tarot cards. Interesting to me right off the bat is all three of these are sort of initiating new, which goes along with change. Aside from the Knight, which is a new energy, but not quite as new as a page would be. And the Knight would be about movement and the way that coming in. So we have the One of Wands, which is a beginning of an action, some undertaking, some project that it's time to move forward on. And it's possible this could be something that's being brought in by an outside force. And again, I'm connecting this with the energy of Uranus, just kind of seeing that the clouds are, sorry, a bit dark and stormy, and almost it reminds me of a club, like a caveman's gonna kind of beat you over the head with. However, I'm seeing behind that there's rays of light coming through. It's illuminating the darkness. The clouds are not going to stay. So we'll kind of go more into that as we move along. But the main idea here is the energies of change, feeling maybe out of your control, or that something's happening or being done to you. But to remember that in behind all of it is divine order and the plan for your good. So just trust it, and find the light behind the disconnect. There's something there. Moving into the One of Swords, the swords represent the mental aspect, communication, new ideas. So I'm kind of seeing this as his hand is holding the light. It's very concentrated here. And I feel like this is the empowerment of you understanding your perception, your perspective. So when things are happening that feel out of your control, you do actually have control over one thing always, which is your choice in how you perceive the situation, whether you more empowering for you or more disempowering, and to find a way to grasp the light behind the situation and grab hold of it use that as a tool for your own enlightenment, for your own growth. And I love that crown and plant life coming along with it, using that creative mental power, the power of your mind, the power of your thought to reap the benefits. I'm sorry about the focus. And then lastly, we have the Knight of Cups. This is the mood of emotion, of connection, and I feel like this is where you're coming when you get to a state of mind, when you get your perspective in order. It brings the reward, it brings the fulfillment and happiness that you've been hoping for. But you have to take that journey and you have to focus on the mental and not just reacting to the things that are happening around you, but to embrace that as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to empower yourself, to respond rather than react. And so to me, this it's also an aspect of that where if water is your emotions, it's contained within the cup. It's under control. And so I'm sorry, the water is within the cup. It's maintained. There's actually a little fish in there. I don't know if you can see him. But it's to me the fruits of the way that you're feeling, the manifesting power is going to come from you understanding that the feelings and emotions that you're having are something that you can utilize as a tool as well. So, in a way, finding the balance between your mind and your head and using that forward even when things feel difficult, even if you don't know where they're leading. It's just taking that one step at a time. And now we're going to look at your light seers tarot and see. Oh, by the way, this is the Astro, Starknight Astro deck. And these were just it's a Rider Waite deck. It's Art Nouveau. I don't really know where I got it. Oh, and you got a bonus fourth card. So cool. I'm feeling that to do the reversals today, so we'll see what comes up there. So I'm gonna put these right over. All right, so these are gonna go ahead and how, or more specifically, what it is you can take to rein in these. So I'm seeing this Two of Swords as actually coming along with both of these, but it's as if taking the action is feeling difficult, it's feeling out of her control. This energy of something happening to her, and she's just kind of struggling to figure out which direction she's being pulled in. How do you know which way to go? Where do you get clarity, vision? So I think that mentally just learning how to sense when you're feeling pulled in too many directions with confusion or empowered, um, to just take that first step. You'll know within you what that is. And I think taking that first step starts with setting the intention to ask the question, okay, what is this? Why is this happening? And what can I do? So sitting down, listening to yourself, setting the intention, and I feel she's taking off the blindfold. She's realizing, okay, this is happening, but I do have something in my power to shift it, even if it's just as simple as looking, opening your eyes. So maybe that's the small first step, action. How are you going to see the light behind the situation if you're not looking? So then we have the Four of Pentacles. And with the Four of Pentacles, what I'm getting today is something it more as um, a conscious choice of gathering, utilizing your tools, realizing after you've opened your eyes and you're sorting out the direction that you want to go, you're choosing the perspective. It's going to take some restraint to prepare yourself to take the journey. And something about money, finances, maybe you're going to save something away to invest in a class, or some specific tool or experience that has been kind of calling you forward. And it's going to have to do something with change in your life, a shift that you've been thinking about making, planning, and we're going to go ahead and take that first step, which is more of an internal step. And then after you're getting your thoughts in order, you're ready to manifest and embrace that light. You're going to also keep in mind that there are steps to continue taking along the journey. What are the things that you need to take with you, and what are the things you leave behind? And protecting those assets that you have, protecting what's in your power to hold on to, and not to give that power away. Next, we have the Page of Swords. So interesting, again, it's another initiation, change type of energy. I don't know if you can really see, but in this card, there's winds pulling her. It's the air. It's the winds of change. Again, it's love. It's the ideas behind things. And so I think a lot of this is something to do with taking a class, taking a course, maybe buying a certain book or tool. So using that to invest mentally into ways that you can change your state of mind, um, healthier ways of looking at things. And it's funny, I never noticed like fire right here, but it's not. It's actually between her arm, but it does look like fire. It looks almost like ashes and smoke are rising. And that's funny, I've never seen that. So give me a little. Okay. So with the flame energy that's coming through with this, the flame is fire, such as the wands, same symbolism, and that is lighting from the book. So I feel like that's what's going to light her up. It's like her as in you. It's some type of inspiration, some type of energy coming from what you're moving towards, and it's something that you're going to take within yourself, mentally alchemize, and it's going to translate into an energy that you can actually utilize. Something that's really going to light you up. And it, you may not know what it is specifically, but it's going to come through, if you don't already know, when you open your eyes, when you take that initial step to regain your perspective and empower yourself with how you're interpreting things. When you prepare yourself for the journey and you start realizing the assets that you hold and where to invest that, do the learning, thinking, do the level of understanding that is calling to you. And that's going to kind of ignite a new idea. It's going to pull you towards what you're meant to have, what you're meant to work towards through this change that's happening. So again, it's coming down to utilizing your mind to better understand the state of your emotions and to have that not necessarily under control. It's not that you don't want to feel feelings or have emotion, but to learn how to contain, to recognize, to honor those feelings along with your logic and your mental capacities, your state of mind, and using that to move forward into what has changed. Okay, and last we have the world. Is a beautiful, beautiful card. So it it's a sense of closure of a cycle ending, but also the birth of a new beginning. Obviously, she's looking quite joyous. It's very positive energy, and it's sort of the egg of it's it's the womb of creation. So by utilizing these energies, gaining more mastery over your internal self, it's going to allow you to step forward into the outer world and start bringing into form those things that really bring you joy and fulfill you. So it's taking those difficult steps and then realize exactly it's put you exactly where you need to be. It's helped you become who you are, and this is how you create the things that you bring up in your life. So there you have it. Pile one, we're looking at the energy of change coming through for you, and we're realizing just baby steps, the energy of what's happening to you, and claiming the light out of that situation, the silver lining, cloud, if you will, setting the intention to perceive that in a way that would be empowering to you rather than disempowering, no matter how difficult it can seem. Allowing that to give you power over using your emotions for good as a tool, just like your mind as a tool for good. And then using those energies to kind of take inventory, take your power into your own hands, to step into the thing that's calling you, learn more about it, and allow it to light you up and pull you forward towards what you're meant to have. It's a letting go. And a very beautiful final energy of when you do complete this cycle of change. And I'm not getting specifically what the length of time is here. Today is the full moon, but you'll hear this whenever you want to. But maybe this is about a moon cycle. So keep an eye on that. Maybe from the new moon to the full moon, or from an entire cycle of full moon around to the next full moon. So you use your own discernment on that. And I wish you the best. And thank you so much for listening. And I hope that that helps you. Okay, Pilot. We had the and the pirate first. We're going to go ahead and start the Astro. And your card, the fifth house, passion, number 43. So the fifth house is all about your passions, your interests, your creativity, your ability to play or allow yourself to play, following kind of that inner flow. Yeah, creating. I'm seeing obviously with this an easel and paintbrushes. Creating creating something. The fifth house also is about children, about dating, passion, as far as I don't want to say affairs and cheating, but meeting someone, having those initial connections, or working together. It doesn't have to be about that. Um, if it's of dating. Okay, so with the tarot that we have, it is the moon, which is number 18 in numerology. See you. And the moon is what is on the other side of the veil. What is it that has been hidden that is coming to the surface? Maybe about fears, fears you've had, old wounds you've had, just things that you're uncertain about, things that are coming to light, things that are coming to you. Just maybe requiring a little patience, a little courage, stepping forward into the unknown, not being afraid of that blank canvas, and just going towards it, doing the thing. The Four of Swords. This is a card. I understand it looks a little disconcerting, but he is not in a coffin. He's at rest. He's a warrior with his sword down and just kind of recalibrate self care, me time, just taking that time for yourself to step away from the battles in your mind, the things that you're trying to plan and figure out, and maybe meditate. Just take the time to slow down, to rest, to follow your passion, to reconnect with what makes you happy, with what you find beautiful, and let go of that fear. And then the fifth, the Five of Cups. And this is about kind of walking away, but not realizing that there's something behind you that has something to offer you. So it's sort of like no use crying over spilled milk. The cups are having to do with feelings, with emotions. So I feel like this needs a lot of love energy in your reading. And I think it feels like maybe this is being hurt before, old wounds that kind of have been haunting you, but then realize those things are behind you and they really aren't meant to control you forever. In fact, there is more for you. That everything isn't lost, everything isn't gone. And if you just kind of turn around, change your perspective, you'll find what was meant for you. The things that are gone, the people that have left were meant to leave. And the things that were meant to stay are still there for you, even if you can't see. So how do we do this? How do we let go of those fears and recalibrate and rediscover what was left behind for us? Well, I'm bringing that back and bringing that's about that fifth house, that passion. So it's giving yourself permission, maybe through creating, through dancing, through some interest that you have and you're strongly connected to, and allowing that to kind of lead you back. So that's the rest, that's the self care, getting into that creative energy, that joyful energy, and letting that kind of be your guide and be your light. So take some time. If you don't really know what this is, reconnect with yourself. Let go of the outside things and thoughts and ideas and noise. Leave it all outside. Go within yourself. Reconnect with those passions or dreams that maybe you thought you couldn't have or you failed in. Um, remember that it's a learning experience. Okay, and some additional energies to kind of go into that a little deeper is we have the two cups. Two of cups. Oh wow, look at that. So the two of cups, and there are actually two cups still remaining upright in this card. The things that are still waiting for you, the positive energies that are going to come from doing this healing work, doing this creative endeavor. So the two of cups is about connection, is about our feelings, emotions. Obviously, there's a strong love relationship type energy here, but for all of you, it may not be. Sorry, for some of you, it may not be about a relation. It might be about a friendship. It might be about the healing power of friendship or a relationship, a family member, some sort of collaboration. Maybe you're going to go to a dance class with a friend or an art class with a friend, or it's someone that you meet there through those passions and interests that you have. So allow that flow to come towards you. Allow your feelings to empower you. Um, yeah, it's the don't cry over spilled milk and realize that, you know what, maybe fuck milk. Maybe you have some magical rainbow water that is way better for you. So let go of what's spilled and gone and didn't work out and realize it made room to fill your cup with something beautiful and lovely and magical and empowering. And that's going to come through whatever it is that you've been strongly pulled to. And I want to say something that you've been drawn to and maybe even studying or doing for as long as you can remember since you were a child. Um, or maybe it's new and it's just very strongly pulling you towards. Just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of what other people think. This is about you, a journey you're taking. And then when you're doing that, you're going to start to find the right people, the right connections that are going to really show you that you're going in the right direction and that this is bringing positive change. Yeah, interesting too. So your next two cards are the Page of Wands and the Queen of Wands. So the Page of Wands, well, let me first of all explain for those who aren't familiar. Wands is the suit of fire, the element of fire, which represents your creativity, represents taking action, movement, doing something rather than just thinking about it or dreaming it. So this is taking that movement. She's not afraid. She's not holding herself back. It's full movement. She's using a range of motion of her whole body. She's holding on and trying to control things in a very, I don't know, I want to say controlled, not trying to get control over the situation directly through that flow, through the energy, through her joy, through the passion, allowing your body to move however it's feeling called to move, and trusting that you'll be able to catch, be able to catch what tools you need to be able to have your needs met and just have fun. It's a dance. It's a dance, and you're the choreographer. So releasing that fear, allowing yourself to rest and reconnect, letting go of the old wounds and fears that leave behind, taking those steps to do the thing, to follow the passion, follow the flow with it. It's not about using your head. Hang up your swords and just flow and be free and see where it leads. And the energy that it leads to is the Queen of Wands, which is that energy of doing, of moving, coming to its highest expression or nearly its highest expression. It's a very empowered, it's a very creative state, and it's starting new things in your life. Just from setting those intentions, taking those little steps, allowing that flow of creativity to move you, then you've got the tools in your hands, and that's going to allow you to really find what you're meant to find, or to allow it to find you, to create a more positive and uplifting future for yourself. It's interesting to me too that she has a black kitty cat here with her. Obviously, a pet that's very comfortable with her. So I find that interesting, trying to kind of decipher where that's going. But I find that interesting that also with the moon, we have the dogs or the wolves, um, the lobster, crawfish type guy that's coming out there. And I feel like this is almost the animals that scare you, the energies that you're not sure of, and realizing that once you've kind of gotten into all of your passions, those things become tame. The wild things that go bump in the night become comfort to you. They become tame. They become kind of an aspect of yourself, but that you can use to reignite those flames that you've hidden away out of fear. So beautiful. That's it for pile two. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you'll continue to come back. Okay, pile three, we had the smoky quartz and the rainbow. And we're going to go and start off with Star Codes Astro message, the underlying message. And we have ninth house exploration. So the ninth house, number 47, by the way, on this card, in case the numerology is important to you. The ninth house exploration is about expanding your horizons. It could even be about traveling. It could be about going to school, training in some, also your philosophies and belief systems, kind of looking further, looking at the big picture. Yeah, expanding your horizons. Sure. So we'll go ahead and see a little bit more about that through this tarot. Okay. Six of Wands, Three of Pentacles. and One of Cups, or the Ace of Cups. Okay, so the Six of Wands is the movement forward for me in this reading. It's that exploration. He's picking up his tools. He's realizing it's time to move forward, and may even be that there's a sort of mentality or some group energy that has really kind of pushed you away. So the Six of Wands, I'm getting in this reading as a lot to do with the exploration, with the expansion of your horizons. And it actually could have something to do with a sort of mob mentality, a group thing type of thing, or some type of group situation where you feel like people just really have it bent. Their perspective is skewed, and maybe you identified with them at some point, but you feel that pull to move away, to learn more, to expand the horizons. It could even be a previous belief system or religion um, that that really is not empowering to you anymore, and you're taking it back and you're moving forward. Maybe you're going to college, maybe you're going on a trip. Um, Maybe it's not necessarily traveling somewhere far, but sort of using within yourself something that's going to help you see the bigger picture. The Three of Pentacles is about collaboration, putting in the work to create something, and realizing that sometimes other people are giving their input, and it's really up to you. You're the one holding the tools on how much to listen to the input they're giving, and how much to trust yourself in knowing what you're building, and knowing what direction you're going, and knowing what you're spending your energy on. I feel like this is kind of finding a balance between listening to what others are telling you and teaching you and the information they're sharing, but also knowing that you know what you're doing, you know the direction that you want to go. And so kind of having that discernment, sorry about that, between what's under your control and what is something that other people are trying to control, and when their intentions are really purely to help you and to collaborate and to build something better, and also to know when they're kind of just trying to take over. So having that discernment. And with the one, the Ace of Cups, this is having to do with your feelings, with your emotion, with your intuitive feminine aspect, receiving. And so I see this as kind of, once you realize that you're kind of letting go of the outside energy and you're moving into that exploration, you're going to find fulfillment, and you're going to find that this adventure, this expansion that you're allowing for yourself is going to be guided. There's a lot of divine guidance. There's things are going to come to you in symbols to let you know what direction to go if you're not sure. It's going to come through. It might not be all at once, but you're going to begin to see, open your heart to the messages. Not so much of a mental thing, figuring out and understanding, just feeling that call forward and realizing that it's all there. Feeling that call forward and realizing that you're guided and you have support, you have messengers, you have the feelings and the intuition to follow to bring you exactly where you're meant to be. So we're adding on today's energy, and we have the Death and Rebirth card, which actually has the infinity symbol right here. Interestingly enough, the inner infinity symbol that came up with our trinket. So infinity symbol, death and rebirth is showing the cycle, kind of the turning of the wheel and realizing that those things you're letting go of, those outside voices, are really, really going to help you find that thing that lights you. So it's about letting go of what's no longer needed and trusting that that ending is a new beginning. It's a rebirth for you. And so go ahead into that pull of the exploration, of the adventure, of the travel. Let go of those outside forces. Trust that you're being guided, and get ready for your new beginning. Let the closure happen to the places where you're no longer comfortable. And with that, we have 10 of Wands. And this is the closing of a cycle. This is moving on. It's very similar to the way this one was coming across today. Is just getting out there. It's the traveling. It's letting go of where you were and seeing where you're going. And again, with the guidance, with the signs, with the symbols, it's support. You're being supported. Um, yeah, you don't have to carry it all on your own. You have support to me in spirit is showing. It might be an adventure you have to take on your own, but to remember that you are being guided and assisted. You are not doing it on your own. Not to be afraid to let go and to move towards what actually is calling you. Take the leap, take the adventure. And then interesting to me, you come with the last card, the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is that embracing of your energy, of your not just your energy, your intuitive energy, feminine receptive energy, your magic, your feelings, your emotions, those things that guide you along the way. It's the energy that is coming towards that exploration and expansion. Apologies, that's a little noise. So this is, taking that exploration is really connecting you to your most natural, in tune self, and that's going to bring a lot of blessings your way. It's going to help you create the energy that you're really meant to have right now. It's kind of cleanse away, hold, and embrace the new, and that brings you to a place of beautiful empowerment. So I hope that resonates with you. I hope you find it helpful. Go on that adventure, expand your horizons, and trust that you're going to be supported and guided. And you're going to step further into that ultimate version of yourself. Thank you so much for watching and have the best day ever. Hey, everyone. Thank you for watching. I'm really honored and humbled that you're here trusting me to read into and hopefully help you with some of the energies that are flowing around. And I did want to let you know that we have some of these things available in the Mystical Rainbow shop. I'm going to be updating my Etsy shop soon. But until then, you're welcome to join us in the Facebook group. Facebook group Mystical Rainbow Shop. And I do for sure have the Astro cards, Astro cards. It's an Oracle deck. I have one of those available if you're interested. Let me know. And I also do have one of the Light Seers Tarot deck, and that is really one of my favorite decks. It really is. I the art is very intuitive. So that's something I want to let you know. In addition, we do have the selenite Zodiac chargers, which are awesome. And I have several of those, so if that interests you at all, please feel free to get a hold of me. You can just comment in the Facebook group. And then also, we do have several of these little adorable obsidian witch hats. If you need a little extra Halloween fun, obsidian is also a protective stone, grounding. So I feel like these are just wonderful in addition to being adorable. So get you some if you feel so called. All right. Again, thank you so much for being here and wish you all the best, all the luck, all the love, and take